It's Don here from the board. Thanks for coming along and checking out this video. So today I'm going to be reviewing a Razer Blackwidow X Ultimate. Now this is a much older board. From what I can tell, it is around a 2016-2017 model. It certainly does not seem to match all the specs from Googling the model number. So we'll switch over very shortly, but just a very quick backstory on this is that my brother gave me this board to check out. Okay, so I'm happy to look at whatever comes my way, and I don't think I've done a video on a Blackwidow X Ultimate before, so that's why I thought I'd give it a bit of a quick review. So down onto the desktop, here it is. It's a pretty sleek board, to be honest. According to the general specs of Blackwidow X Ultimates, they're about a 1.1 kilo board, so just under 3 pounds-ish. 2.25 pounds is like 1 kilo, so another 100 grams or so on top. Something like that, maybe 2.5 pounds. I don't know. I'm not an imperial measurement type of person generally. It is a steel plate on top. So it has this wraparound kind of plate that you can see here, and then it's plastic underneath. Now this particular board, the model of it is the well, nearly fell off my chair. Oh, I've got it. Oh, just pulled my mouse. It is the Z03, the RZ03 0176. Now I did find that there are other models out there, but there are more numbers after the 176 something type of thing. One discrepancy, I guess, for this particular board compared to other boards is that they state that it's Razer green switches, but from this one it's a Cherry MX blue switch. I believe they are cherry switches, not Razer blues, but yeah, they've got the cherry symbol on them. So this is definitely a bit older, and they've got the old LEDs that are actually switch top diode mounts. So the actual diode legs go through the switch. So if you wanted to change these out, you actually have to desolder 2 pins every switch. I've done that before on other boards in the past, and it is an absolute downright pain. So having in-switch LEDs from the old days compared to these days when they're on the PCB and are shined through the switch and the gap is definitely a significant improvement. So this board it's really stiff from a flex perspective when you press on it, because this steel top gives that structure. However, camera focus is going out of whack. That's all right, you don't need to see my face anyway. The twist on this is still noticeable. So the board itself is quite rigid from a top-down perspective because that top plate provides it, but in terms of a structural stiffness overall, its compensation is the fact that the plastic underneath does flex. But when it's sitting on a flat surface, when it's sitting on the table, it is actually nice and strong. There's not too much really else that I can say about this. It does use typical CoStar, similar to the Philco arrangement. As you can see, it's got a bit of dust in it. I'm not a super fan of CoStars, so that's a personal preference more so than anything else, but you know, they work. They're in my Philco over here as well, and it's just something that was industry standard at some point for OEM boards. I prefer PCB cherry types, but you know, it is what it is. If you're not taking it apart and you're careful when you do it, then CoStar stabilizers have no issues whatsoever. Not much else left to say except to just give it a bit of a sound test. It's pretty old as a board. You can get them pretty cheap at the moment. I sort of just did a quick search for used ones, and they sit around the 20 to $25 US on eBay. So, you know, locally here, you probably you might even pick up one for $30, $35, $40 Australian type of thing if somebody was selling it. Look, it's a rugged looking, feeling board. If this is 2016, 2017, you know, it's 8 years old, like, and still going just fine. My Philco is, you know, from the early 2000s and still going strong as well. So if you look after your boards, should be no major issues there whatsoever. So I've got Monkey Type on the other screen as usual so that we can run a bit of a sound sample. I'm going to swing over to the calibration mic here, and then I'll change also to the microphone input on my mixer up here to run the Monkey Type, and then you'll be able to hear what it sounds like through the calibration mic as opposed to my ribbon mic, which is what I'm talking through right now. So, whoa. What you're hearing right now is the calibration microphone. So that was a quick 30 seconds. Few mistakes there, about 100 words per minute, 95% accuracy. It's pretty on par with most of my typing tests that you would see if you know. One comment. Okay, so we're back on the ribbon microphone now. One comment that I would say on just typing with this in general, it is quite a firm feedback. It has a hard bottom out, a much harder bottom out compared to my Philco and other boards that I've experienced. That steel plate top is definitely noticeable. Like it's 100% there noticeable. It is louder. There is definitely more echo, and the hollowness of the keycaps do come through to the point where the MX Blue Switch click jacket sound is really being overshadowed by that hard bottom out. Now, I actually have different keycaps. They're not sort of OEM keycaps on my Philco, so it's not a good comparative for sound, but I also use O-rings on my keycaps. So they dampen a bit of that bottom out hardness, whereas because these are unmodified stock switches, stock keycaps, no O-rings, it is a really loud sound. If anything, this does not embody the concept of clicky, this embodies the concept of clacky. So if you like that kind of sound, if you want to have that loudness, that brashness, that hard, heavy hitting sound of a mechanical keyboard, this would be it. Well, I think that is probably about it. There's not much else I can say. It's straight, simple, classic look. The lighting modes, I'm not really sure it has any more besides just the fact that the switches light up upon press. I know that there's brightness and brightness settings up and down here. You can record macros. You can go into gaming mode, which will lock out the Windows key so you don't accidentally pop out. You've got some media controls. So it's pretty basic. A lot of the other heavy-duty features that is available is software-driven with the Razer Synapse software, which I'm not going to go into because generally when I look at boards, I'm looking at them from a physical element, not a software element. That's it. So yeah, if you've got one of these, you love it, you hate it, have problems with it, recommend people particular tips, tricks, mods to make this a different sounding, typing, feeling keyboard, leave them in the description below for people who might come searching for it. Hope you enjoyed this relatively short, sharp check out of the Razer Blackwidow X Ultimate. Thanks for watching. I hope you'll hit that subscribe, bell button, like, notification, all the usual jazz that YouTubers ask for. And if not, all good. I will catch you on the next one. And of course, as usual, until next time, happy clacking.